friends, it's Andrea again from Creative Creations, and today we will be using the cute little Eat, Sleep, Plan, Repeat Creative Creations stamp set, which is available in my shop if you want to work with that. And I will share in this tutorial how I love to create some like dashboards for my traveler's notebooks. They're not actually dashboards as in a normal planner. However, I like to create like wrappers or covers, however you want to call it, for the booklets that go inside my traveler's notebook binders. It will make sense once you see it. Yeah, that's what I love to do. I'm just switching them out on a constant base, on a regular base, so that I can add a little bit of variety and variation to my traveler's notebook without switching out the whole booklets, because some of the booklets I will use them for 3 months or even for a year, like the month at a glance booklet that I will use for a whole year. So this way, with those wrappers, I can just add a little bit of variation to the planner and kind of make it a little matching the current season or my favorite color or whatever, just something that I'm into right now at that moment. I really just like to add that to my planner, even though I'm not doing a lot of decoration inside the planner anymore, like the planning part. Actually, right now it's just bullet journaling at its best, hands down, almost no decorating at all inside my actual planner part, because I found, or I figured for me, I really need to focus on the planning in order to make it work for me. If it's too much like stickers, washi, and all that kind of jazz, it's taking away from the actual planning part. Okay, so I decorate the wrappers and have some additional pages that I love to decorate inside of my traveler's notebook. However, the actual booklets, they're just plain old simple bullet journals, and really just not really decorated. Maybe a washi here and there or a sticker here and there if I feel like it, but no focus on decorating and no focus on or it's not important for me. If I feel like it, I do it, but it's no pressure thing. Okay, so I actually just wanted to let you know what this tutorial is all about. So let's jump right in and create one of my traveler's notebook journal wrappers using this cute little Eat, Sleep, Plan, Repeat Plannergirl. So let's get started. Hope you will enjoy it, guys. Yeah, so I'm starting with some watercolor paper here that I folded and cut it into the size of my traveler's notebook. And then I'm adding some of the distress oxides to this non-sticky craft sheet, just spritzing it with a little bit of water here. And then I'm just adding my paper, my wrapper, my planner wrapper, into the wet paint. And I'm just dabbing it and removing it and twisting it and moving it around until I'm happy with the result. And yeah, then I'm giving it a little bit of heat to dry, and once it is dry, I created 2 different versions here, front and back, and then I'm just grabbing the one that I like best and continue to work on it. I continue with the distress oxides here, using a stencil and one of those dabber tools, just applying the distress oxide ink on top of the stencil to kind of add this design to my background here. Just random stencils like this flower stencil and this striped background stencil here by Tim Holtz. And I'm trying to stick to the same colors that I used in the background to kind of keep it a little like cohesive and matchy. And then on the inside I'm doing the same thing, just with some different stencils here, just some hearts and also this flower. So just go wild and crazy with this, because this is really a fun part. And then I'm using these like dabber tool here to slightly ink the edges, also using the Distress Oxides. And then I continue to decorate this cardstock wrapper here, this dashboard, with some washi tape. And then I'm jumping in with my stamps using the cute Plannergirl stamps here. And I already stamped the main focal image, the cute little Plannergirl, onto some heavyweight watercolor paper. And then I'm just grabbing my watercolor palettes. I'm working with 3 different Prima marketing watercolor palettes here, the Decadent Pie, the Tropicals, and the Essence set. Yeah, and I'm starting as usual with the skin color, applying the skin color using my Pentel Aqua brush here. And one of my favorite skin colors for a light Caucasian skin is from the Decadent Pie set by Prima. Just applying it and then blending it slightly into the face. So just using this one color already gives me an instant shading here. So I have some midtones, some darks, and some highlights. And I'm doing the same thing with her hair. Decided to go with some fun pink here. And for the colors that I choose for the girl, I kind of wanted to stick to a similar color scheme to the colors that I use in the background of the cardstock wrapper, so that it's kind of matching a little. So I'm working with this pink and some light blue, turquoise here to kind of make it match the background. And as you can see, I'm just putting down a first layer of base color here, first glaze, not using too much color, not using like too much pigment on my brush, because especially on small images like this, just a little bit goes a long way. And you can also use the Distress Oxides and just picking it up with your brush. And you can use it similar to watercolor, just use it to color in your images. And this kind of gives me a perfect color match to the background, because I already used this bluish turquoise color in the background, and now I'm using it to color in my girl. So this kind of gives you the option to really make it nice, matchy and then I just continue to color in the different elements on this stamp here, on this image, like all those different planners and the coffee to go cup and the cute little planner here, the washi, the scissors, and everything that's lying on her desk. So all those small details. And remember, don't overdo it with the color, just add a little bit of color, then let it dry, and then go back in with another layer of color, a little bit of shading. I'm using just some dark blue, purple color here for some additional shading, as you can see. And that's really all it takes actually with smaller images like this. If you don't feel confident about coloring those small images or shading those small images with watercolor, because you're afraid to kind of mess it up with the layering here, it takes a little bit of practice so that you really don't spread out the colors like too much. You can also do this next step, this shading step, with a dark purple or a dark blue colored pencil, for example, just adding a little bit of darkness to the shadow area. So that's another option if you're afraid you might ruin your paper. But if you're working on good quality paper, this shouldn't be a problem. If you don't use like too much water. So it really is, it depends on the perfect mix between water and pigment. So it might take a while to find the correct or the right amount of water and of pigment for those smaller images, but once you get the hang of it, it's like super fun and super easy to do. And if you work with like the Pentel Aqua brush, for example, with the small tip version, that's great to do this. Yeah, and next I'm using my white paint marker. This is the Molotov paint marker, to just add some catch lights and some highlights here to the eyes and to the hair, to her cute little chubby cheeks, and in all those areas where I want a little bit of a light reflection here, to just bring some pure white back into the game. And next, cutting it out, not fuzzy cutting it. I'm kind of leaving a tiny white border around the image, because this helps the image to pop off the background later on. Yeah, and then I have my cardstock background here. I have my cute little colored stamped girl, and I just gathered some random supplies that I want to use to decorate this, like some trim here, some lace, just some bits and pieces of paper and some sticky notes. So just a random selection, a random mix of what I wanted to use. Yeah, and then I'm just taking it from there, starting with this trim in the background, just adhering it to this cardstock wrapper, and also adding just some tiny bits of paper, like this piece of a book page here and this piece of gold foil printed vellum. So just some random tiny paper scraps. This is actually from a stash that I keep with just some excess paper from other projects, because it doesn't need a lot. And yeah, I'm just adding some tiny sticky notes here as well, making sure they are adhered nice and neat. So I'm using some glue. I'm not just using the stickiness on the sticky notes because they will just fall off. Yeah, once I'm happy with the layering here, I'm also adding my cute little Plannergirl, and then this corrugated cardboard or cardstock, what is it called, flag. So just random mix of bits and bobs until I'm happy with the result, just moving it around. And yeah, once I'm happy with the result, I'm grabbing my Plannergirl stamp set here, and I still want to add some smaller elements, smaller images to my dashboard here, like this Eat, Sleep, Plan, Repeat planner that I'm stamping here with some black ink. And I'm also adding it to the inside here. And then I have this bullet journal stamp that is also part of the stamp set. I'm just stamping it there to kind of give it a theme, because I'm using it for my bullet journal. And this planner love, I'm stamping it onto the sticky note, then just adding it to this collage on here. So really just play, have fun, mix and match. So no rocket science behind this. I'm just really enjoying the process, adding things and seeing where I want to add things to. So this is really, for me, one of the most fun parts actually. Yeah, and once I'm done here, this wrapper or this dashboard, however you want to call it, is yeah, actually ready to go into my planner. And I just grabbed one of my planners here. This is just a random planner with some blank books for brain dump, for ideas, for notes. And as you can see, I'm just wrapping it around one of those blank booklets. Yeah, and this gives me like an instant decoration without decorating the actual booklets, and that's why I can keep it yeah, keep it up to date, and I can just mix and add to it and redecorate as I go, as my mood changes or as the season change. So you can also just add it individually, like here. And then you can just use it as some sort of dashboard, so not a wrapper for the booklets, but just a dashboard to add random sticky notes to the inside, where you can just keep your notes for the day, like some brain dump, what you still have to do. And then once you're done with the task, you can just remove those sticky notes and just throw them away, and you're always kind of up to date with your plan or a planning list for the day. Yeah, and you can also just clip this in with one of those pretty clips to kind of adhere it to the booklet. Then it's almost like a cover for the booklet. Yeah, so many different options here, and yeah, that was actually it. If you enjoyed the stamps that I used in this tutorial, you can find all of my Creative Creations Clearstamps, many different playful whimsical sets, which are perfect for creating happy mail, pocket letters, art journaling, cards, for scrapbooking, for planner girls. In my shop you can find the link below the video, or just hop on over to the link displayed and yeah, check them out and grab your favorites.